Hi everyone, Stepan here. This is game 108. We're playing the bird. I have won the last 6 games. My opponent only plays rapid. Okay, I've won the last 6 games and this could be the longest winning streak I ever had. I think my longest winning streak was 6 games, although it could be 5. I could be wrong. So maybe we have already broken the record. Okay, I have to focus on the game. I may deviate from my normal bishop e2 and play bishop b5 here because, you know, I'm threatening knight e5. I don't see why not. Probably bishop g4 is the refutation to bishop b5, but I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna learn. If it's bad, I'm gonna learn. So as you may know by now, I'm playing openings that make me uncomfortable. Okay, this I'm happy to see. This isn't critical. Now I can claim the long diagonal. I'm gonna go b3 and bishop b2 before my opponent has time to go g6 and bishop g7. Okay, now I'm not sure I want to trade. Do I want to trade? Nah. This is the problem with bishop b5. I don't know whether taking is a good idea here. I'm gonna say no. So I'll just bring my bishop back and argue that bishop d7 and the a6 were just as not useful as what I did. Okay, so let's castle. I'm very tempted to play c4 here to get rid of my opponent's d-pawn, because c6 cannot be played. e6 would leave my opponent with one fewer central pawns. And I mean, I could also go d3, but I'm very worried about knight g4. Okay, so c4 or d3. If I go c4, my opponent goes e6, and then that blunts the bishop even further. I actually like that idea. And if my opponent takes, I take with the bishop. And I have an easy e4 coming up. Yeah, I'm gonna go c4. Okay, wait. Usually f4 and c4 in conjunction are not a good idea, but yeah, I'm going c4. This, in principle, this seems bad, but I don't see an immediate refutation to this. I don't see any good knight discoveries. I don't think dc4 is a good move. I don't think e6 is a good move. So I'm gonna play... Oh, okay. Now my opponent has traded the d-pawn for the c-pawn. That's a pretty big deal. Look at my bishops. My bishops are amazing. Okay, so I'm not giving the bishop away. The only question is, do I go to d3? But I don't go to d3. I think I just go to e2. Now I can play d3, e4. Yeah, okay, definitely e3, d3 now. I'm gonna play this like a Sicilian, where for some reason I have a pawn on f4. I don't want to go d4. I want to go d3 and queen c2 and e4. And I don't want to go queen c2 first because of bishop f5. So yes, d3 seems correct. Ooh, does knight d5 work? Knight d5, do I have to go queen c1? No, I cannot go queen c1. Okay, so let's assume knight d5. Bishop takes g7, knight takes e3. Queen c1, knight f1, bishop f8, knight h2, bishop e7, knight takes f3. There is so much to calculate here. Oof, I may have blundered with d3. I have undefended my e3 pawn. This doesn't look good. I think knight d5 works. Ooh, okay. Now it's time for queen c2 to defend my bishop, and if knight d5 I can... Well, I'm still facing the same problem. Maybe I go queen c1. Maybe I go queen e1. Okay, then the knight's coming to c6. Very tense position. I'm also looking at knight e5. Knight e5 seems interesting, followed by bishop f3. Knight e5, bishop e8, I guess. Bishop f3, rook c8. Queen d2. Somehow e4 feels wrong. Okay, I'm playing knight e5. That may be overextending a bit, but I don't see a comfortable square for the bishop. Because on bishop f5 I play e4, on bishop e6 I play e4 and f5. On bishop c6 I trade, on bishop c8 I play bishop f3. Or even queen d2. Queen d2. The knight on a5 is misplaced. It's not hanging, but it's misplaced. Okay, so do I go bishop f3 now? Bishop f3 feels correct. Okay, I'm gonna need to develop my knight at some point. I'm not taking on b7 because I want to keep that knight stuck on a5. So I think queen d2 is correct. This defends my bishop, it puts pressure on the knight. Now if my opponent doesn't do anything, I play bishop c3, and I'm provoking b4, which gives me the c4 square for the knight. Yeah, okay, as expected. So I think take with the rook. But maybe taking with the knight has a bit more merit. Although I doubt it, because my knight prevents knight c6. Yeah, I'm taking with the rook. Oh, is there knight e4? There's knight e4. I didn't see knight e4. Knight e4 is actually kind of annoying. But I have queen c2. I'm not sure what knight e4 accomplishes, but it looks scary. I have to play for f5 soon. So I need to play knight c3 and rook a f1 and f5. Open up the f file and put pressure on f7. That's the main idea in the Dutch. It's very weird to play the Dutch without a c-pawn, but I feel like my center is very solid. If knight e4, I think I have to go queen c2. I cannot afford queen e1 because of bishop e5, queen d3. Although I have queen h4. I may actually sack my d-pawn if my opponent plays knight e4. Okay. Now, instead of playing knight c3, I may play knight a3 to just play against c4. But my queen is hanging, so if knight a3, c4 takes, knight takes, wait a minute, knight a3, c4, bc4, bc4, knight c4, knight c4, knight c4, rook c4, I'm losing a piece. So is it time for bishop c3? Bishop c3 is not a move I would like to play, but it does chase that knight away. And of course, if b4, my opponent doesn't have c4 anymore. Oh, wait a minute. On knight a3, c4, I may have b4. Knight a3, c4, b4. Oh no, actually, knight a3, c4, bishop c3. Knight a3, c4, bishop c3 loses a pawn, because my queen is defended. Yes. And the knight hangs. So now if c4, there's no more b4 winning a piece, so I go bishop c3. And after knight c6, I can take on c4. Yep. And now my rook is ready to come to f1 or d1 or c1. Okay. Okay, I have to watch out for knight e4. Knight e4 is constantly hanging, so I have to defend my queen. So I don't think I play rook c1. I think I play rook f1 or rook d1 to defend. So yeah, let's go rook d1. I need to defend my queen. It's getting uncomfortable with my queen undefended. So knight takes, bishop takes. Or even knight takes, pawn takes. Maybe I take with the pawn. I'm down a minute on the clock. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like I'm playing quickly. But I'm not. Now knight e4 is no longer an option, and the position feels much safer tactically now that knight e4 doesn't work. Almost out of coffee again. The question is, am I ready for f5? I think I am. And also, what's my knight doing on a3? Knight a3 may have been a bad decision, but I have a very interesting option to go e4 if the knights are traded off, and then knight c2, knight e3, knight d5, also supporting f5. So as long as my opponent is not controlling the pawn breaks, so in this case c4 just loses material, I think I have enough time to prepare different strategies. So I can play for f5, I can play for knight c2, e4, knight e3, knight d5, although there's e6, so maybe that's just bad. I would love to provoke the b pawn forward, but I am afraid to play a4 because my opponent doesn't have to take. If they took, I would get the c4 square. Okay, so now my opponent wants to go rook d8 and wants to play knight e4 again. This also prevents f5. So it feels like I must get away from knight e4, whatever the cost. So my options are take on c6, queen takes, and e4. And then on rook d8, knight e4 is hanging. Or just move my queen immediately. I am going to move my queen, and I'm going to move my queen to c2. Because that defends my bishop and puts pressure on c5. I just don't want to live with the option of knight e4 happening. Oh, did I just allow knight b4? I didn't even see knight b4. Oh, come on. Idiot. I'm gonna have to play queen b1. Why didn't I see knight b4? Oh, okay. Luckily for me, my opponent exchanged. Okay, what does this do? I don't know. But I'm gonna go rook c1. Why would you play queen c6? I don't know. Maybe I go rook f1. Maybe my rook is misplaced. Well, then there's knight g4. Okay. Do I have b4? I do have b4 if I play rook c1. Why is my opponent trading everything? I'm very happy to trade the bishops. Now, does b4 win material? I think so. b4 if takes, then I win the queen. b4 if c4, then I win a pawn. b4 winning material. Seems correct. My opponent missed the pin. Also, if b4 and my opponent doesn't react and I take, and they take with the knight, I go d4 winning, and if they take with the queen, I go queen b2 winning. So, because the queen is hanging. So I think queen f6 may be the best move. But then I go f5. Or I just take and go d4. Okay. Oh, f5 is very tempting. I think my opponent should have gone queen f6. Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. Okay, my back rank is actually kind of weak. And I'm down to 6 minutes. I have to speed up. Okay, I'm taking. Am I taking? I'm taking. Rook takes queen b2 check. And then I have knight c4. Unless queen f6 is played. Okay. No, I don't have knight c4. What am I saying? The queen is defended. Oh, come on. Okay, rook f1. I'm declining the trade. I don't want to trade. I have to watch out for my e3 pawn falling. And I don't have knight c4 until the knight moves. Okay, this weakens some squares, and I'm happy to see this. So can I just move my king to h1? I will, because I don't want to risk any discoveries if my e-pawn moves. I want to go e4, f5. For the moment, there's no rook c2, there's no rook c1. There is rook c3, but I don't think that matters much. Five minutes 52. I'm playing e4. I'm playing e4, f5. I don't think my opponent's threatening anything. If the knight moves, well, first of all, it cannot move now, other than to f8 or b8. I wonder what my opponent does to prevent f5. When I play f5, there will be knight e5. I have to watch out for that. Okay, rook c3. Rook c3. b4 is coming up, but I have knight c4. Can I go f5? f5, knight e5. Takes on g6. Knight takes f3. G takes f7. Check. King f8. I may have f5. I'm playing f5. I think it works. Because I have queen h8 in the end. Maybe I don't have to sack my rook. Sack the exchange. Maybe I can play rook g3. But I think I am sacking the exchange. So takes on g6, knight takes f3. Takes on f7, check. King f8, gf3. Or do I save the exchange? I also have knight c4. Oh, knight c4 may be the strongest move. Knight c4 works now, the knight has moved. If knight takes c4, then queen takes rook. If rook takes c4, then pawn takes. If knight takes f3, I take the queen. If b takes c4, I take the queen. Yeah, this works, this works. Unless there is knight d3. No, there's no knight d3. There may be knight d3. No, there's no knight d3. I take on c3. Okay, this works. It's funny, this knight can be taken 4 different ways, and every way to take the knight is bad. I'm gonna call it now. I think my tactical vision is improving. Okay, I did see knight c4 10 moves ago when it didn't work. Now that the knight has moved, it just works, but I think I've calculated correctly. I think I've spotted the idea on time. I don't think there's a way out. I could just be winning after knight c4. Oh, this I'd missed. But I could go queen e5? Wait, no, I didn't miss it. Queen e5. How do you defend? I don't think you do. Because now the rook's hanging, you have to play rook c5. Then I'm opening up the king side. I go queen g3. I'm down to 3 minutes. Come on, speed up. Let's go 7 out of 7 in the last 7 games. My opponent just hung a full rook. Am I blind? Can I take the rook? I can take the rook. What's going on? What? Okay, I'm getting very lucky in the last few games. My opponent hung mate in 2 in the previous one, and in this one my opponent just hung a rook. Then another opponent hung a full bishop. So maybe the last 7 games are not an accurate measure of the opponents on lichess, but I seem to be getting very lucky. People keep hanging stuff. Normally I'm the one who hangs things. I mean, this is over. I'm up a rook. I'm just up a rook. Yeah. What? 7 in a row? Okay, this was a messy one, but let's... Oh, wow. Wow. There are so many comments in the chat. Wow. The people seem to be enjoying the games. Okay, let me just expand this thing so that you can see the analysis. Unfortunately, I don't have this thing set up so that it covers the chat as well. But I may do that. Let's start the analysis. So, let's see. Bishop b5 is the move. Bishop d7, let's turn on the engine. b3 is okay. Bishop c6 is best, but bishop e2, excuse me, is fine. Black is better, so this is inaccurate. Okay, let's see. First of all, my opponent had 2 blunders, I had 1. I had 2 inaccuracies, my opponent had 3. And I won 4 points again. I only won 4 points per game. Bishop e2 is a mistake. g6 is a mistake. Bishop b2, bishop g7, castles, castles, has to be fine. c4 best move, yes! Yes! Okay, bishop c4 is a mistake. Let me just... the guys say in the chat, get the popcorn out, heating it up right now. Where does the bird usually want to play? I'd assume the king side. I feel like black neutralized, not sure where Stepan will find an attack, blah blah blah. Oh my god, there are like 100 comments here. Super spicy. Is white in trouble? I guess minus 1.2. I'm guessing minus 2.5. Whoa. Okay, they missed knight c4. Yeah, they missed knight c4. Okay, let's continue. Bishop e2, c5, best move. That's surprising, but okay, prevents d4. d3 is fine, b5 is fine, knight e5 is fine. Black is constantly slightly better. Bishop f3, bishop b7, queen d2 blunder. Okay, bishop takes, rook c8. Wow, -1. Why is this -1? Apparently I played very poorly, but I had no idea why. Knight d7, okay. Knight d7 I was very happy to see, now I get to trade. b4 was my blunder? Why? Okay, I was expecting queen f6, but why is that bad? Okay, takes, knight takes. So what, I just move my queen? What's wrong with that? Let's say I go queen d2. Yeah, rook fd8 and knight e4. Apparently I had no idea what was going on in this game. b4 is such a blunder. So I'm assuming knight c4 equalizes? -2. f5. Okay, knight c4, nice. Rook takes, queen e5. Yeah, and takes just hangs the rook. Why would... Yeah, I feel sorry for my opponent. He played a great game. I mean, honestly, I didn't see knight c4 before knight e5 was played. I saw it before, but it's a very sad end to the game to just hang your rook like this. So let's say black saves the rook. Let's say rook c5, which is the only reasonable move. I would have played queen f6. What does black do? Or maybe queen g3, I'm not sure. Let's say queen g3. ef5, sorry, ef5, ef5. What now? Rook c1, okay. I don't have f6 because of rook takes, queen takes. So I need to make some luft. Rook f1, rook f1. Queen f6 preventing f6, okay. So the engine finds an advantage for black. Well, a streak of 7 games. And it's all with the bird, the Dutch, and the Sicilian. Yes! See you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye-bye.